What's happening, my good people? It is your boy PKG Deluxe back with another vid on how I did. You already know what it is, so let's get cracking to it this morning. Morning, Joe. What's happening, my good folks? All right, so this is what I found new and very inventive and also very intuitive too. So now every job I believe that I'm going to do is going to be no less than $100. That includes Simply Safe installations. That includes doorbell installations. That includes smoke detectors. That includes everything that I do. Thermostats, TVs, internet configuration and setup, printer setup, computer setup, whatever it may be. Regardless, right now, I am telling you the ideas on how to maximize each and every one of those jobs. The ideas of travel pay and helper pay. So those two things are benefits that you get, but they are very stingy with these two. So they would not tell you, and a payout increase is something that is also not offered unless you ask in regards of it. So what happened recently? There was a job I took, and it was probably about a quick $60-something job, real quick, small job, because I was in the area. And I realized at that point that because I was able to change or put my location at a different distance, we were able to use the mile marker. So once you get to a point where you're over 50 miles in distance, you can receive travel for the job. Now you have to call and ask about it and say, hey, I took this job because it was a payout increase, but that jump's kind of far. So what are you guys going to do to compensate for it? They can give you additional travel pay. Now, as I'm learning that, I'm also learning on one of the jobs, clients will put down that they cannot help lift TV. So they tack on this thing called a helper fee. The helper fee is something that comes into play for if you have a helper that is assisting you with anything that you're doing. So with that helper fee, it's alongside of the payout increase with the travel pay and with the helper fee. Now, when you add all three of those up, that $60 job just went from $60 to $150. And that's where it started shocking me, because now I know you can make, if this job is that small to do, but the distance is right over 50 miles. And once again, we talked about this before. You can just change your location. Boom, you instantly get yourself travel pay. Travel pay constitutes a little bit more money in the pocket and makes that job pay out a little bit more. So you don't have to take any of the cheap jobs if you don't want to. There are good paying ones. But now that I know this piece of information, that would have changed my whole whirlwind of how that $400 operation would have been. So just thinking about it in retrospect now, looking at it from a clean point of view, I estimate that that job would have probably been from $400 to $800. Had I added in travel pay, had I said something about a helper, because it required a helper. I was with two elderly people who definitely couldn't lift the TV up, and I was doing all of the mounting by myself. So I definitely would have said a helper fee. I always take my nephew with me. And the payout increase. Somewhere in there, I'm thinking that that bill, that last job that we did, would have definitely been an $800 job. So somewhere here in this week, we're going to work on trying to get this on one accord and see how it works. But we're going to try to take every job that we can while we can. So we're going to get some hustling going on and see what we can do with it, all right? All right, my good people, PKG Deluxe is here, and PKG Deluxe is out, baby.